Not a ton of time left here, but I wanted to at least note one more marketing method, and that would be seminars. Uh, as estate planning attorneys, sometimes estate planning attorneys do seminars. They talk about what is a trust, what is a will, what is a power of attorney, and do you need each of these documents? What's the benefit of each one? What's the disadvantage of each one? And um, there are two different approaches, I would say. You can organize the seminar yourself, or you can be invited to present. And, I've done both. So I've organized the seminar and I've sent out mailers to, hundreds of houses. And uh, I've done that method before. And I've also done, you know, seminars where I've been invited to speak. And uh, before I tell my experience, Seth, what is your thought on seminars?
Well, I think they can be great, and the opportunity to share the same information to a lot of people at one time is obviously efficient, and I think it's helpful in those groups for someone may have a question and they're going to maybe not feel as comfortable asking the question, but somebody else did. And they asked the same question and they got the information that they needed. And again, it's ultimately about that education piece for the client so they can make informed decisions. And then they could follow up with the attorney to see if they needed to actually implement that or make a change or something like that. So I think they're very valuable, and interested to hear sort of your perspective on which of the two methods seem to be more effective for you.
Yeah, I would say do not pay to organize a seminar yourself because it has a very little return on investment from my perspective. The one time that I've done the seminar, um, I guess I've done a couple of seminars that I've kind of organized on my own. I wasn't invited, and they were kind of a flop. I really didn't have any new clients that came about from it. And it's a significant time commitment. It could be 2 or 3 hours of time out of the office, maybe even in the evening to go out and do this. And that's time away from not just your office, or maybe it's, time away from your family with little return on investment. Maybe other people can do it better than I can. I'm sure that they do. But unless you're doing that kind of on a regular basis and you're kind of constantly mailing out, I don't know, if you just do a one-off seminar, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. You probably need to do it on a monthly or every 6 week kind of basis, mailing out, say, hey, there's this educational seminar, that kind of thing. Um, but on the other hand, if you're invited to a place, maybe a financial representative wants you to come and present, talk about trusts, or what other field of law you're in, uh, that's a good opportunity. That's kind of a warm market for you to provide some educational resources to an audience, and then it's a natural thing. People will come up after you speak and ask you, hey, I got this question. And you may say, well, it's not really the best time to talk about this. Can we schedule an appointment to talk about this later? And then you've got an opportunity to um, you know get a client to retain you. So that's kind of my perspective. If you're invited to do a seminar, that's great, but I wouldn't organize it on your own, especially as you're getting started.
Yeah, I think that's the key is when you are younger in your practice, the time, effort, and energy required to host that when you don't really have that credibility already built up is going to be a challenge. But if you do get invited, I would show up in a heartbeat just because it's kind of the adage you're not there to get clients, you're there to educate and build relationships. Clients will be a byproduct of that if you do that genuinely. But if you're just there, boy, I got to sign up 3 new people, those aren't going to be lasting and helpful, I don't think, in the long run for your practice.